Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I've gotten this question a lot recently about how much should I be eating right now. I'm not feeling like myself. I'm doing some activity, it's not what it was. I normally do better when I do a boot camp or I go to a class at the gym, and I don't feel like I'm pushing myself as hard as what I get pushed when I, work out with a trainer or something, and that's just not available for me right now. I'm trying to eat healthy and clean, but I'm having a hard time. There's a lot of questions, a lot of what ifs, and a lot of us are having to set up our health, our fitness, our nutrition goals a little bit differently, and that's okay. So note that it's still important you're getting enough nutrient right now. It's still important you're getting enough, macro and micronutrients. Those are the most important things to focus on. It's not going to be about calories. So if you're like, okay, how much should I be eating? Should I be counting calorie? No, don't focus on the calories. Don't focus as much on the calorie amount. Focus on what we call macros. So these are going to be your proteins, fats, carbs, right? Proteins, fats, and carbs, right? Simply broken down, proteins, fats, and carbs. You should be adjusting this with what your body needs. Now, the tough thing is that right now, our systems are under more stress than they have been. I literally chatted with 3 more gals this morning, got messages, had women reach out to me saying, I skipped a period, or it was really weird. I don't even know if it was a period. It was more like spotting. Or I was 6 days late and freaked out for a minute. Our cycles and our hormones are doing crazy things right now because of stress. So it's really important that we're correctly fueling our system and not depleting our body of the nutrients that we're needing. One of the biggest mistakes women make is actually saying, oh, I'm not working out like I was. I'm going to cut my calories. I'm just going to cut things out. When you look at the number value, it's different. My simplest example of this is, 100 calories of gummy bears is very different in your body than 100 calories of almonds. They're both 100 calories, but they're going to do different things in your system, and your system's going to react and respond way different, right? The almonds are going to be some protein, fats, and carbs, and it's going to give you some balanced nutrient. Gummy bears are just sugars. Your body's going to burn that up super fast. Yeah. So if you're not balancing things out, it's really, really, really tough to make sure that your system can get all the nutrient it needs. So proteins, fats, and carbs is where you should focus, not calories. Now, when you're looking at proteins, how much protein should I be getting? What should I be focused on? Again, I recommend protein pacing, which if you want, I can do a whole video on that. But we're looking at getting enough protein to support your lean muscle, whatever that is for you. So this is different person to person. In the 12-week challenge that I actually have specific recommendations for each person based on their lean body mass and their total body mass. This is not something that should be the same person to person. So I am 6'2", super tall, super tall. What I'm consuming for protein to support my lean tissue is very different than somebody who's 5'2", right? This is why I severely disagree with any type of, diet program that is the same for people. You're like, oh, if you're, you should be eating 2 eggs and a piece of fruit for breakfast. Okay, but what if the person is literally a foot taller than somebody else who's eating the same thing? That doesn't make sense, right? No, again, it's not about calorie. It's not about that. It's about what your system needs. So your proteins should match what your lean muscle is. Oh, fats, you need healthy fats, especially right now. A lot of people are having increases in inflammation because of the stress in our bodies. And if we're not getting enough healthy fat, it's really hard to balance that inflammation. Carbs, again, it's really tough to give you like a value amount here. But if you're, say, getting 120 grams while you're protein pacing a day, you should be getting at least 120 to maybe 150 at least of carbs. I mean, and again, here I'll put a range down, anywhere from 60 to 90, depending on where you're at in your hormonal cycle, what your system needs that day, stress, recovery, sleep, all that stuff. So there's this I'm putting a range up here because it's not static. That's another thing. A lot of times we just say, okay, here's what I'm going to eat for the month. No, for women, our bodies change week to week. So what body are you in this week, and what does this body need, and how is this body reacting to stress? Keep in mind that, you know, the progesterone phase, days 15 through 28, your system doesn't process stress the same way, so it's a lot harder on you. Meaning you're going to need some more healthy fats. You might need more adaptogens. You might need some other things to help your system recover and handle stress. You're going to need to hydrate differently. Right? So it's not just as simple as saying, oh, get this many calories, that. It's, okay, how can we support your body with the right nutrients and really make sure you're getting enough? More often than not right now, I'm actually finding women are not eating enough during the day because of the stress, because of the mental overload, and we're worried that we're eating too much, right? And then by the end of the day, you end up binging hard, binging hard. So that's a really tough thing to come out of. So how do you balance that? Again, right here, balancing the foods, starting with this all day, and protein pacing is one of the key things. There's actually some women that do my 12-week challenge, and I'm going to put this link right now. I'm opening up the wait list for the next 12-week challenge. Last time I had to close registration early because I filled the program. I only take so many women because this is something where I work very closely one-on-one with each person, supporting you in the way that you need. So there's the wait list for the next program. You can just click sign up. There's also a ton of info on that, on the wait list too. For those of you that are like, well, how do I kind of dabble with this first? The wait list, it's got a lot of good info there. But I just got distracted for a second. Ooh, okay, good question, Kiki. Hi, Kiki. Hi, friend. Yes, what about those of us with no period, less carbs? That's a really good question. Yeah. So throughout the month, supporting your system, what it needs. If you're not having a cycle, if you're not having a period, if you're in menopause, if you've had a hysterectomy, something like that, your system still goes through, shifts and changes, right? So making sure first you're supporting it with the proteins that you need. That's key, first of all. Getting enough fats. The carb piece sometimes does come down, and that's something, again, that on an individual basis, sometimes I'll say, okay, especially if you're under a lot of stress right now, you need some carb, but maybe not as much as we normally would do, right? And especially, but if you're active, if you're like, oh man, I went for this 7-mile run, whoo, okay, you're gonna need to replenish that glycogen into your system, you know? Yeah, but especially if you find yourself binging, again, I want to come back to that because so many women have mentioned that and said, oh, I'm having a hard time with that. This is something that in the past 2 weeks, I have had a handful of women that are in the 12-week challenge right now tell me that that is something they have struggled with a lot in the past, binging at the end of the night. And it's because you starve yourself all day. By the end of the night, it's like your brain switches off. You can't use willpower anymore, and your body says, give me food. Just like that. I think it looks exactly like that. But then you go to bed and you feel terrible about it, right? Your gut is all messed up. You don't sleep well. You don't recover well. And then the next morning you wake up feeling bad still about what you did the night before. So you starve yourself during the day and the cycle repeats. But in the 12-week challenge, I have had a handful of women in the past 2 weeks tell me that they're like, yeah, I'm not binging anymore. I'm not having any of these crazy cravings. I am feeling good. I'm feeling satisfied and full during the day. I'm not binging. And even with all the stress going on, I can't believe it. This is the best thing I've done. I'm so glad that I've joined this and that I have started this because I'm not struggling with that piece, right? And they're thinking, oh, maybe this is mindset, da-da-da-da. I was like, no, you're supporting your body with the nutrients. You're supporting your body with the right nutrients. So a lot of that stuff just automatically turns off. A lot of us want to have all the willpower to do this or that. But if your body system says, I'm worried I'm not going to survive, that's what takes over, right? Then you're not driving the bus anymore. The meat suit that you're living in says, warning, I'm taking over. Here we go. And it might not take it in a direction you want to go in. But when you are working with your body and system, and when you're satisfying that physiology first, working with physiology first, and then going from there, it's a game changer. game changer. And it becomes easy then. That's what somebody said yesterday. I chatted with a gal. She's like, this just feels too easy almost. She's like, I'm not binging. I don't have these crazy cravings. I'm feeling really good, yet and I wake up with more energy. She's like, this almost feels too easy. Am I doing it wrong? I'm like, no, you're doing it right. Stop doubting yourself. This is going well, you know? So that's one of the things to focus on. I went on a little rant there. Yeah. But this is, again, we all get worried about this. Our habits can change. Our thought process changes because the system we're living in is more stressed out right now. And it's really hard to navigate that different body reaction if we're not prepared for it, if we're not supporting it. So just some things to keep in mind. All right. Now that's what I wanted to cover today. If you guys have questions, please let me know. If you want me to dive into something else, if you want me to talk more about if I'm eating too much, if I'm not eating enough, or if I'm working out differently, or whatever it is, send me a message. You can comment below in this video. I'll be more than happy to tailor my information for what you guys need right now, because there's a lot of info out there, and I want to make sure you're getting great info that points you in the right direction. And again, as a women's health expert, everything I do is tailored for the female body. Right? Okay, other resources I have for you. If you want to look into more of eating for your hormones and your cycle, if you are catching this video and you're like, I've not heard of that before, great resources for you are my book, The Female Fat Solution. This is on Amazon. This talks all about eating for your cycle, what to eat in estrogen, what to eat for progesterone, how that all works right here. And then my podcast is called The Female Health Solution, and my YouTube channel is called Dr. Beth Westy. That's where I upload all my videos and talk about a lot more of this. So there's a lot of things archived, so you can subscribe to stay updated on everything. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you need any other resources or if you have any other questions. I'm here for you to be successful, to get through the other side of this. All right. Bye.